Mr. Cheeks, Freaky Ta, Pretty Lou, and DJ Spigg, better known collectively as hip-hop group Lost Boyz, came out of South Jamaica Queens in the mid-90s to scale the charts and launch a movement. Their music wasn't just about having fun though, it also revealed a vivid scene of the life on the hard streets they grew up on. Eventually those streets would take the ultimate toll, sending one member to prison and another to the grave. Terrence Kelly, later known as Mr. Cheeks, grew up the oldest of 4 children. His mother worked as a waitress while struggling with alcohol addiction. His father, a street hustler, wasn't present much in his son's life. As times got tough, Terrence, as well as his siblings, would be later taken in by his aunts and grandmother. In that environment, he would be exposed to a lot more love and a lot of music. As far as where he got his stage name from...
So, was your name Mr. Cheeks in the beginning, or was it something else?
Co Cheeks, you know what I'm saying? Used to call me Co Cheeks, you know what I mean? That's my name I got from my camp, you know what I'm saying? My team, when I used to run around doing what we do, Lost Boyz shit. Boom. I got Mr. Cheeks from legendary Black Just from the Supreme team out there in Jamaica Queens, you know what I'm saying? I went in the club one night and he said, yo, what up, Mr. Cheeks in the building? From there, I just kept that, you know what I'm saying? Because that from him saying that, bing, I'm there, you know what I'm saying?
A few blocks away, Eric Ruth, later known as Pretty Lou, was experiencing the same kind of childhood. His father was a drug addict and got his mother hooked on heroin. And like Terrence, Eric's extended family had musical bloodlines, including his grandfather, Thurman Ruth, a gospel pioneer, and an aunt who kept the music playing at home. Eric was also able to enjoy his love of music with close friend Talik Raymond Rogers, later known as Freaky Ta. By the time high school came around, Cheeks, Lou, and Ta had become the best of friends, with hip-hop as their bond. The trio became a quartet after meeting an aspiring DJ named Ronald Blackwell, aka DJ Spigg. First calling themselves the Stay Fresh Crew, and then the Lost Boyz, inspired from the 1987 supernatural black comedy horror film of the same name. The group performed at park jams and open mic events all over Queens. Things wouldn't pop off for them immediately though. They'd spend the next several years struggling to make a go of their music. Then finally, in 1994, their demo tape caught the ear of an executive at Uptown Records. The group's first single, called Lifestyles of the Rich and Shameless, showed exactly where the Lost Boyz were coming from. The song made it onto the Billboard Hot 100 and landed them a record deal with Uptown. The group's second single, Jeeps, Lex Coupes, Beamers, and Benz, that pays tribute to all the fancy cars in the hood, did even better on the charts than their debut. The next song they dropped, a track off the Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood soundtrack, titled Renee, based on a true story of a woman from the neighborhood who became a victim of a drive-by, would become the biggest hit of their career. It broke into the top 40 on the Hot 100 and rose all the way to number 3 on the rap chart. The hits kept coming with their fourth single, Music Makes Me High. Lost Boyz released their debut album titled Legal Drug Money on June 4th, 1996. It features all their past singles, plus a fifth one released after the album dropped called Get Up. Fun fact, the LB Slide, a dance the group made up, is prominently featured in the music video for Get Up. The album went to number 6 on the Billboard 200 Albums chart, captured the top spot on the R&B Hip Hop Albums chart, and went gold. Also that year, the group appeared on the Red Hot organization's compilation CD, America is Dying Slowly, alongside Wu-Tang Clan and Fat Joe, among others. The CDs meant to raise awareness of the AIDS epidemic among African American men, which was a cause that really hit home for some of the members of Lost Boyz. Cheek's father, Lou's father, and Ta's mother all passed away from the illness. The group's second album, Love, Peace, and Nappiness, was released 1 year later. It featured another top 5 hit on the rap chart, Me and My Crazy World. The track helped the album reach gold status just like their debut, but when it failed to generate follow-up hits, the members began losing faith with their label. And as tour dates declined, the lack of income for Lou and Spigg became an issue. You see, the contract that was signed with Uptown was only done so by Cheeks and Ta. According to Lou, Cheeks and Ta placated him and Spigg by assuring them that after things took off, the two of them would be added to the contract. For the time being though, Lou and Spigg would get paid for shows only. Since the main ways for getting paid in the music industry are publishing, royalties, and shows, Cheeks and Ta ended up getting the biggest checks for all of the writing they did. Naturally, that caused some friction between the two camps. Cheeks and Ta even started having issues with each other when the group went back into the studio to work on their third album. Then, on March 28, 1999, Cheeks' 28th birthday, he went to a party at the Four Points Sheraton Hotel in Queens. Ta, putting whatever beef he had with Cheeks to the side for the moment, came through to show his friend some love on his special day. When it was time to go, Ta was offered a ride but declined. Later, as he walked out of the hotel, he was shot in the back of the head. He was taken to Jamaica Hospital Medical Center, where he died of his wounds. He was 27 years old. The gunman, Kelvin Jones, later pled guilty to second-degree murder. He told the Queens District Attorney that he'd mistaken Ta for a relative of a man who had killed his brother. Only Lou and Spigg went to Ta's funeral. Where was Cheeks? Passed out at the bottom of a bottle of Jack Daniels, trying to self-medicate his grief. The three remaining group members finished their third album, LB for Life, and released it 6 months after Ta's death. It went largely unnoticed. Cheeks, Lou, and Spigg continued to perform to promote the project, but it wasn't the same. For Cheeks, the show had to go on whether he liked it or not. He was under a contractual obligation to produce music for the label, and he had already received advance publishing money, so business still needed to be taken care of. He fulfilled those requirements with a solo album called John P. Kelly that dropped in 2001. It features the top 20 Hot 100 and #1 rap hit, Lights, Camera, Action. Life for Lou and Spigg, however, didn't fare as well after Lost Boyz separated. Lou moved around quite a bit, spending time in DC, Maryland, Florida, and Georgia, he says running from himself. Spigg did some hosting gigs here and there, but nothing permanent or lucrative. So, allegedly, to put some money in his pocket, he hooked up with some unsavory characters. In 2004, he and 3 associates were tried and convicted for a series of 10 bank robberies committed throughout New Jersey. Despite no previous criminal record, Spigg was ordered to pay close to $1 million in restitution, and he was sentenced to 37 years in federal prison. Throughout the early 2000s, Cheeks put out 2 more solo albums. He released his last solo album in 2015. After Lost Boyz stopped touring, Lou put music behind him for good, had children, got married, and pursued a career as an accountant with his own tax business in Georgia. No matter what though, every year on May 14th, Ta's birthday, he's honored with an event in Queens known as Freaky Ta Day. In the summer of 2021, DJ Spigg was released from prison. Lost Boyz appeared back on the map in the 2020s, continuing to keep the group's legacy alive, with the unofficial release of the compilation Grand Scheme 1226 in 2020, as well as Legacy in 2023, with the latter featuring Mr. Cheeks, Casey Chrysler, and Freaky Ka, Freaky Ta's son.